Hello everyone and welcome to this transformative journey into the world of ESG, environmental, social and governance, where sustainability meets strategy and ethics inform economics. In an age marked by climate disruptions, social inequalities and growing demand for more transparent corporate governance, ESG is not merely a reporting mechanism. Rather, ESG is a pathway for long-term value creation, for increased risk resilience. This course is designed to bridge theory with practice, to understand global ESG frameworks, to evaluate ESG strategies, and to bring meaningful changes in the organizations or institutions where you will be joining in future. Together, we will understand how ESG today is influencing boardrooms, is redefining investments, is defining sustainable finance, and how ESG is going to be one of the most meaningful careers in the 21st century. Together, we will define for a greener, more resilient planet. I am Dr. Prantik Banerjee, Assistant Professor of Environmental Science at the Adamas University, and I will be taking you through this course in ESG, Nature, Finance and Strategy for a Resilient Planet. This course is designed for both undergraduate and postgraduate students of environmental science, sustainability, climate change, management and even finance, and of course economics. We will be learning through videos, quizzes, templates of various ESG reports, and finally we will be studying real life ESG case studies. We will be understanding various frameworks of ESG. We will be going through the functioning of various rating agencies. We will try to delve deep into the basic philosophy of ESG, why it is required, why in a world where we humans, we have to undo a whole lot of wrongdoings that we have been doing for the last maybe 200, 300 years. How ESG will help us in attaining that target of us humans. Say, we have changed a lot of ongoing naturally occurring processes on this earth. So, the onus, the responsibility is now on us to revert those changes to make this world a livable planet. I mean to ensure that life on earth exists, we humans, we survive on this planet in a healthy manner and of course in an economically sound state. As we are going through a unique situation where the scientists have actually been telling that we are going through a sixth mass extinction event, the Holocene extinction. We know that there have been 5 events of mass extinctions in the past. The sixth ongoing event of mass extinction, that is, as I said, the Holocene extinction, is actually purely anthropogenic in nature. That is, all the past events of mass extinction, those had been carried out by nature. For example, nature selected that the dinosaurs should not be living anymore, and that is why the dinosaurs, through a series of events, through a chain of events, they finally disappeared from the face of the earth after the Cretaceous. But the event of mass extinction which is going on right now, it is said that the humans are entirely responsible for this. Now, to prevent this from happening, what we have to do is we have to bring in conservation studies we have to bring in pollution control, we have to bring in overall sustainability right into the center of our economic development. Whenever we say development, what we actually mean is economic development. And the most vital prerequisite for economic development is utilization of natural resources, requirement of energy, requirement of water. Now, for economic development, there is obvious environmental footprint. We will be leaving environmental footprints whenever we are trying to achieve economic development. So, how sustainable will it be? What do we mean by sustainability? According to the 1987 Brundtland Commission, which was chaired by the erstwhile Prime Minister of Norway, Gro Harlem Brundtland, there was a definition of sustainable development which said that sustainable development means meeting the needs of today without jeopardizing the needs of tomorrow. That is, we must use natural resources in a way so that our future generations, they also have access to it. ESG will ensure this. Whenever we bring in sustainability study into the mainstream economics, into the mainstream financial development strategies, into the mainstream financial instruments, mainstream investment instruments, only then we will be achieving an overlap between our economic interests and our environmental interests. And only then we will be achieving what we know as sustainable development. Now, what is ESG? ESG is, E stands for environment, S for social, G for governance. Environment, as we know, that how little environmental footprint are we leaving for an economic activity. Social, for any economic activity, is there any form of social injustice occurring? Is there inclusive development going on? Are all sections of the society, even minorities in whatever respect, be it in caste, creed, religion, sexual orientation, whatever it is, are all the minorities having access to the economic development? G stands for governance. Whether the corporate governance, which is governing, which is driving the drive chain of an organization, is that corporate governance transparent? Is that corporate governance honest? Is there any lack of integrity in the entire operation? Are there any financial scams going on, or everything is absolutely transparent as per the law of the land? The G of ESG, that is the governance part, will ensure that there is perfect corporate governance going on. As I said, that ESG is actually a combination of the three parts for any financial or economic operation going on, that is environmental, social and governance. Now, conventional economics, in our previous Venn diagram, in conventional ESG, that environmental, social and governance, this was somewhat challenged by economist Kate Raworth, who said that the three pillars of sustainability, environmental, economic and social sustainability, the three pillars of sustainability should actually give way to a more holistic concept, that is this donut economic model. Now, what is a donut? It is actually an edible item where there is a circular solid part with a hollow in the center. Now, this was imagined to be the current habitat of the humans, where the outer periphery, it is actually the planetary boundaries, right, and the inner diameter, the inner periphery, it is the social conditions, the minimum infrastructure, minimum requirements for a healthy human society to survive. Now, if we overshoot the planetary boundaries, there will be problem, and if the minimum requirements for a healthy human society does not exist, again there will be problems. So, this donut economic model is actually acting as a guideline for modern day ESG practices. Now, one thing we must keep in mind, that is ESG is not exactly CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. CSR is not integrated into the finances of a company, whereas ESG, as I said, it is brought into the mainstream economics, mainstream finances. ESG is integrated in the very finances of a company. Say for example, in India, according to SEBI, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, who regulates the two biggest stock exchanges in India, that is the National Stock Exchange and the Bombay Stock Exchange. As per the SEBI mandate, as of now, the top 1000 listed companies in terms of their market capitalization, the top 1000 companies, they must submit their sustainability disclosures, is also called the BRSR. The BRSR report must be submitted every year, or else they will be delisted from the exchanges, right. So, ESG is a mandate that is being directed towards all the companies, unlike CSR. So, ESG can be defined as the triple nexus of nature, finance and strategy. So, in our course, we will be discussing the planetary boundaries. We will be discussing how finance can actually be a driving force for the good practices in the business houses. We will learn about the concept of materiality, double materiality, that is how environment is affecting a business and how a business is affecting the environment. As I said, we will be discussing ESG in the Indian context. This course is for students, wannabe ESG professionals, and also those who want to make a meaningful career, a career where they will actually be the superheroes of the future. Why the superheroes? Because who are the superheroes? We know that there are comics or films where various characters are denoted or are depicted rather, who are protecting the world from evil forces, right. Those professionals who are in this domain of sustainability, who are in the domain of biodiversity conservation, who are in the domain of pollution control, they are the superheroes for tomorrow, isn't it? Because they are protecting the world from the clutches of unsustainable practices, destructive practices, over exploitation of natural resources, loss of biodiversity, loss of habitat, contaminated food, contaminated water, contaminated air, from the clutches of all these evils, the environmental professionals, they are protecting the world, and hence they are the superheroes for tomorrow. What will we learn? We will learn what are the foundations of ESG, what are the various frameworks, how various rating agencies they function. We will also learn how an ESG report is drafted from scratch. From what we have been observing, the students, they lack in one basic concept, that is how an ESG report is drafted from the very beginning. What data are to be collected? What information? What are the information that are to be gathered? We will discuss how various global giants have actually benefited through the ESG aligned strategies from various sectors, be it the energy sector, consumer goods sector, how they have actually increased their profitability through their proper ESG reporting, how they were actually suffering when they had certain unsustainable practices, and how after they have reformed their environmental footprints, their social impact, their corporate governance, they have actually benefited even from a monetary point of view. We will go through various ESG reporting frameworks. We will go through various ESG rating companies. We will go through various case studies. And after completion of this course, you will be able to fluently go through an ESG report. You will be able to draft an ESG report given the data or the information which is required. So, let us start our ESG journey to dream for a better, greener, healthier planet. As John Lennon said, you may say, I am a dreamer, but I am not the only one. Not I. You may say, we are the dreamers, but we are not the only ones. We will dive deep to make this planet a better one. Thank you.